Hi everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with the Spellbinders Amazing Paper Grace Club Kit of the month. And this month for June, it is called Victorian Splendor Slimline. So, as always, many different ways and variations that you can use this to create your cards. I'm going to be focusing on specific dies. So you can see here you have the main plate to create that 5x7 size card. If you're looking to do that, that will cut that base. And then you have your 2 dies here. So this will die cut into a piece of cardstock, and then by putting this piece around it, you will have a panel with these details. You will also have a panel here, so this is an outline die, and then you have this inner panel as well, which will give you a specific image. You also have some leaves in 2 different sizes. You have some adorable little flowers in multiple sizes. And then you have this inner piece. So you have this section here that will cut out this outline. And then by putting in this center die cut, you will then have a frame image. And then you also have a piece that will inlay inside that. And you can put your sentiment along here. As long as that fits there. So I'm actually focusing on this one, the flowers, the leaves, and this inner border. And honestly, it was the flowers that gave me the inspiration or the vision of what I wanted to do with this card. So let me get my pieces. As always, I did take care of all of my die cutting first. Because I did a lot. Wasn't quite sure how many flowers I was going to use. I just knew that I needed a bunch because of the look that I was going for. So I'm just going to grab a small piece of paper here just so that I can get these down. So I'm kind of like, you know, just scooping these little puppies up. And I die cut them in pink and ivory. And then I have a dark green, a light green, and then I also did the leaves, some of them in gold as well, the gold mirror. I have 2 of this outer panel. And what I'm going to do first is glue those together. So very intricate. Use dots for your glue. I am going to go around this frame. I'm going to move very slowly. Sometimes I move too fast, which is what causes me to get off the cardstock with my glue. I'm using a glue that I've been using off camera for a while, just to try it out, and it's the Barely Art. Here's the one thing that I love about this glue right off the bat. No, it does not do warping. I love the fact that it has multiple tips that you can choose from. This precision tip is wonderful. What's great about this is it does, when it freezes, and it will freeze, okay, depending upon, you know, when you get it and all of that. But the beauty of this glue is once it thaws, you can use it. So I think that is the awesome point when it comes to this. Unfortunately, when another glue, the art glitter glue, when that freezes, it kind of disintegrates. I've tried using it and you really can't. Okay, so back to this. So now I have this in 2 layers. Now I have a panel that's cut by 3.5. by 8.5 because we are going to make a slimline. And that is just going to sit right in the center. So this doesn't get damaged in any way. I'm going to, again, get this set into place. I want to make sure that I've got my glue along the frame edge and then just on the major parts that could or would stick up. So a lot of the points on the flourish, I'm going to make sure that I have a dot of glue. So I'm going to set this down here and here. Yes, I am getting up on my tippy toes. And we're going to set that in place. And just clean up any of the glue that may have seeped out. Now, this does dry clear, and it is also, it dries flexible. And that's something I just learned when I read all this. Okay, so we have a little bit of a raised area when it comes to this side, and I only did that twice. Now, for my centerpiece, this is what that piece looks like that I showed before without using the center, and I want this as my base. So that's actually going to sit right in here. But what I wanted to create with this is a shadow box effect. So I'm only going to put glue on the frame. And you'll see why. It will fan out when you layer all of these elements together. So I am going to keep layering these on top of each other. So the look that I immediately thought of when I saw the flowers, believe it or not, yep, was a shadow box. So now there's many ways that you can achieve this look. I chose to die cut my piece multiple times. I think I did this a total of 7 times. And the reason why I went with the cardstock way is because of the details that are in the die, these flourishes and so forth. I mean, you definitely could use a piece of fun foam, but I just don't know how that would have looked and how it would have reacted over time. I don't know if it would have held, you know, that shape. And I'm just using my fingers to crawl up the side, and then I'm coming in and pressing those areas down to get that glue to move around. And then if I have to, I'm just wiggling this, because again, it is liquid adhesive. You do have some time to move this. Now, this is quick grabbing, so it's not like the Nouveau Deluxe or the Simon Says Tacky. You have a little bit more time with them to settle your pieces in place. This really does grab a hold pretty quick. And that's okay, because again, we have fun creating. We can see what we put together. And as I always say, we are not Hallmark. The beauty of a handmade card is those unique little quirks. That's what makes each one of our pieces of art unique. So this is really creating a thick piece of chipboard which is great, and which is what I am definitely looking for. So now I'm going to flip this over, and now I'm going to get this onto the base. Now I don't have the ability to put my hands on the inside, so I'm going to be using the sides to get this in place, and lots of wiggling going on there. And I'm going to push that down. Excuse me. So now you see we've got this great edge going on. So that's my shadow box effect that I want to go with. Now for this bottom piece, I am going to put glue all over. So not just along the frame, as you hear that awesome scratching, but I am also going to put it on the base in the flourishes of this piece, because I do want this to be flat. So I'm going to put just a few more dots than what I normally would, and just make sure a lot of this is covered, because I do want this base to be right down onto my card panel. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this, and I'm just going to wiggle this back and forth, and I like that there. And now I'm just going to press down, and I'm just going to hold that for a minute or two, because I know that one piece is going to be flat down onto my card, and I've got these other ones, and if I turn this to the side you may see it, but they're just ever so gently going to fan themselves up. Now you can take your finger and just snap along it at each of the points as well to get that moving. So it's like fanning money. And then you have that more dimension going on there as well. Again, it's just another element that's just very elegant to put in. I'm going to real quick grab, I'm going to go into my gold mix essential gems. Now they also come in crystal and silver, but I want that one shade, the clear gold, and I'm going to put 4 gems. And of course I don't pull up the dot that goes with it. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to put the dot down. Then I'm going to put the gem down. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go back to the normal way that I do this. It's with a sharp element. Be careful when you do this. I'm sure you all have other ways, and they're probably better. And what I'm doing is there's 4 dots on this die, and I'm just putting my gems in there. And then I'm going to come in with these really tiny ones, and I'm going to set them right into this small flourish here. And I'm going to do that on each corner. Now I'm doing this now because if you guys have seen my videos before, I get, everything goes everywhere, meaning my flowers are going to be all over the place. They're going to take up space. They're going to be flowy. So I want to make sure that these gems are where they need to be, in case they should just be covered up just a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to really press these down, make sure they're down, and there we go. I'm so sorry, my phone's dinging. Don't need that. Okay, so we'll put those away. So you can see we've got our base. So now we're going to just come in, and I'm just going to start setting my leaves in place. Now here is where the tweezers come in, so I'm going to pull out my Spellbinders reverse tweezers. Oh, that's a lot of glue there, but that's okay. We can spread it out. And I'm just going to start placing the layer of gold leaves here. I'm going to make sure that the vines themselves, make sure your fingers don't have glue on them. And I'm going to keep turning this because I want these leaves to move or be placed the way these vines are sitting, especially the gold ones. So that's going to be nestled right down here. And I'm just going to use the back to push it down. And then we have one more. So that's my base. So that's where I'm starting. And we'll set this last one right there. Okay. And now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take another large one and I'm going to put it at the top and the bottom, because I want you to see those gold leaves coming out, but I'm going to put them towards the one side. And again, I'm going to find another large one. And again, just on the vines. And then we'll nestle that one in that corner as well. All right, so now I'm going to come in with just a few sprigs of the green. And I think I'm going to go with the small ones. I don't want too many of the dark green. Only a few. So through the different cardstock colors, that's how I'm getting that dimension, the shadows. Now for this one, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear that, because I would like to put one right there. Actually, I'd like to put it right there. I'm going to lift that up and then just let that fall down. All right, now I'm going to save these because you never know what I'm going to fill in with and so forth. So I want this whole, what I'm looking for is I'm going to create this whole draping of these flowers that's just going to come down and possibly come out. So hopefully I have enough flowers. Now I'm going to be starting with the pinks first. So I should have separated these. And even though I used the same ivory for the frame, that's just going to give it another level of dimension. So just like when you have all of these stacked, you can see the difference. So it's like doing a tone on tone type image. which you can certainly do. I'm going to spread these out just a little bit, and we're going to start plopping. Now, I do want to get that green right in there. And then I want to get a small green. Right on top of that. Just to fill that section in. Now I really want to push that down so that it sticks. And I like the way they start curling up as you start setting them into place. All right, so now I'm just going to start adding some dots of how I want this to look. And I am going to grab my wax pencil for this. So I've just got some glue pieces down. You could curl these, but since they're going to come up over the edge, that's how they're going to curl. And again, I'm just going to keep on putting pressure on these pieces as I'm putting them down. You will get glue on whatever it is you're using. It's okay. Here I'm actually going to put a white one there. I'm going to put a small pink one there. I want these to overlap and take up that space, but I want to fill it also. And if I have to, I'll put that pressure down. I want that curve to happen. And again, it's because of the mirror cardstock. Your pieces will slide around. I think I'm going to come in with an ivory. And I think I'm going to come in with a smaller ivory here. No, I want to save those small ones. And we're just going to put some more glue down. And I may even overlap on some of these. And again, I'm going to put some glue down on these. I'm going to put a small pink one. Don't have enough glue, so you can see why I put that gem in place, because that one piece was just going right on top of it. And we're still focusing in down on the bottom. And we'll come in with some ivories. And again, I'm okay if the glue is coming through the center. There's something else that we're going to be doing to these to give it a little bit of shimmer and shine. Put a small one right down in there. So you can see we've got this flowiness going on here. Or at least I think we do. I'm going to try it. Come in with some of these small ones. Again, letting them overlap. I'm just going to tilt this up so I can look at it. I'm going to put a white one down in there. All right, so, and right now I want to focus on this top here, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to fill in this corner with just some glue. And again, I've got this vision of how this is going to look on this piece and what it's going to do. So I'm just going to make sure that it comes, you know, to life in a way. So I'm just going to keep on, and now that I'm coming into the next level, I want to make sure that there's glue on top of these as well, so that my ivory pieces have a place to go. And as I'm putting them down, I'm able to put pressure on all the rest of the flowers. And let's see, I want to put one more here. I'm going to put some glue on top of that. And I want to add a small white one there. I'm going to put just a small cluster here. So I actually want to put a white one in there. And then some small pink ones. All right, now I'm going to come in with the back end here, and I'm just going to push down just to make sure that these are setting in. I want to put some more small ones in here because I do have plenty of the small ones. Again, just creating those layers. Put a drop right there. And then I want to add just one more down here. All right, so I like the way that the top looks. The only thing that I'm missing from the top is just a little bit of greenery. So I'm going to come in. And remember, I only put glue in certain areas. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to push that down. And that should hold that. So now I've got some green going on there. I just want one small green leaf to come out from there. Again, it's like a puzzle where you can put this in. I love the florals, and there you go, just putting that one green in there just gave that a lot. And again, I'm just going to keep pushing down on that, make sure that glue gets in there. I'm going to pull off another one. Put some glue at the tip on that, and I'm going to come in on this side, again coming in underneath that flower. And then just setting that down there. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Just want to add some more leaves through here, and that's exactly what I'm going to do with that. So I get a lot of questions. Well, why didn't you put glue, you know, down on all the edges? And you can see why. I'm able to keep putting things up underneath in those areas. And plus, by not putting glue all the way to the edge and just on the tips, you're able to get it to curl sometimes because of all of the different colors that you're adding, or the glue, so to speak. It just allows it to maneuver itself. So now that I have that green there, it kind of balanced that out. Now I just need to do the same thing down in through here. So I think I'm moving towards pieces. So I'm just going to make sure that I tear these, because then I'll be able to add them. So for this one, I'm going to start with the darker color. And I'm just going to come in down there. For this one, I need to add some lighter colors over here. And I'm going to add another one down in this corner. Again, using the back side of my tweezers just helps to push that down in place. And again, it's the issue of the dimension that I have going on. So I've really got to crease that paper so that it meets the other pieces of paper. Let's see, I'm going to put one more in there. I think I'm just going to snip that end off because I want this one to actually come right up in there. I need something right there. So I'm going to put some glue down, and I think I'm going to add a white flower. Here we go. I think I'm gonna put another flower there. Holding that in place. And then I think, and since I can, I'm going to add some more flowers here. So I'm going to tuck this right up underneath. And I'm going to put that one right there. And we'll come in with a small one right there. And again, coming in with that edge because I'm going up on one of those flourishes and just pushing that down. And then you've got this trail of these flowers that are just coming in. I'm going to add, I want to see if I can get a sprig right up in there, and I can. Now I'm probably gonna make somebody go, oh my god, what is she doing? All right, so I'm gonna put this up in here, and then I'm gonna come in because I like that gold there. So I'm gonna put more glue on that, more glue on that, and more glue on that, and we're just gonna do a double layer. So I've got that, and I can do that only because we have pieces left over. And then I want to come in with one of those pinks. And I'm really going to glob the glue on there for this one. Because again, I'm going over that gold, and it just takes a little bit for it to hold. Okay, there we go. So I've got all the greens going on there. I've got these clusters. So how could we even possible make those fancy? Wow. So I dug into my stash, and of course I can't find them. Okay, I found them. So these are these little tiny beads. They're seed beads. And what I'm going to do is just put some in here. You don't need many. So wherever there's a dot on the cardstock, and since this glue dries clear, thank goodness, I am going to put a drop of glue, and we are going to put one of these beads on top of that. And life is good because you can even use your wax pencil for this as well. Thank goodness, because I heard you all screaming, saying, oh, heck no. There's no way that I would be doing what she's doing now. But this is no different than picking up our gems. Right? Just saying. And if it just falls off, then we just push it into place. I'm not worried about the color that I'm choosing. I'm good with either the black or the brown. I think the black adds a little bit to it, makes it a little different. And again, I'm just pushing these right into place. And again, just adding that center. Now you can certainly do this with, you know, the gems that you have in your stash. Or your emerald dots, or your nouveau drops. Again, whatever you have, you know, in your stash. It's perfect. All right, now I'm just going to look. All right, I think I've got all those. And now we're going to do the same thing over here. And again, any of the holes that are exposed, that's where we're going to put our glue. And pretty soon you get into a rhythm. And almost done. Oh, I forgot one. Okay. There's our card. Oh, and we find these things after we move away. There we go. All right, I am going to put this onto, I thought I moved, one moved or dropped. Card base. All right, making sure I've got this. This will cover the entire front. So I'm going to set that down. Make sure she's set in place. And just add some pressure onto the side. I did put my needle, I remembered, and that's our card. And again, this is featuring the Amazing Paper Grace Club Kit of the Month for June. And again, it is called Victorian Splendor Slimline. So again, you can do that, and then you would just be able to write your note. So this is perfect for a wedding, an anniversary, somebody's floral birthday. Maybe they're having a fairy tale birthday. By all means. But I do hope you enjoy this. I know this video is long, but I do like you to see the entire process. So, as always, everything I used and links to all of the clubs that Spellbinders has available, along with their blog for so much more inspiration. And of course, their shop. They have so many new collections being released and sales that are going on at this time. All of that will be linked down below if you wanted to check it out. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below, or comments. Please leave those down below as well, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Enjoy your day. Continue to smile. Enjoy each and every moment. But always remember what's most important to me, and I believe it helps. Always be creative, everyone. Till next time, take care.